One of the things that you guys have not been able to see in like 2 years of us filming is our garden. And you guys can tell there's a lot of change. There's a lot of change that's been happening back here in our raised garden. And this garden really has, in so many ways, morphed into things that I never thought it could be. Now, is this a weedy mess? It's not so weedy. My tomatoes may have needed to be pruned like several times. And because of showing and fair and milking and just all the things, trying to designate time for garden, farm, barn time, garden time, softball field time, show time. It's been a whole lot. And my garden is kind of showing a little bit of neglect, but it's in its wild and untamed state. And I really admire a garden that is bountiful, that you can tell it's producing. It's just that there's not been anybody kind of getting in its way saying, grow this way, grow up the trellis, not around and down out of the boxes. And this year, guys, I planted flowers. It's been a really long time. And I mean like 2 or 3 years since I've actually planted flowers in here. And my zinnias, I started really late this year, like probably a month and a half late. And I was really worried. I'm like, I'm not going to see anything. But with our weather being so wet and very, very hot, everything. I don't even want to tell you guys what this plant is that's taken over this trellis. I'm excited about it. Hint, right now, drop it down in the comments what you think it is. But I have really tried to grow this on my own. It requires a much longer growing season than what Indiana normally gets, and it can be used in my soap making stuff. So I'm super excited about that. But in my first year too, where I started and successfully grew a hollyhock. And they're quickly my new favorites, aside from zinnias. Like I love zinnias, marigolds, black-eyed Susans, anything that you could just like pick and make a bouquet with right away. I love, so I've got all of my different types of zinnias. A new thing in the garden, we have extended it. We got rid of all the grass. I ripped out all of my flower beds there, and we've extended it and put down pea gravel. So this is like a nice area because, guys, it was getting to a point I couldn't enjoy my garden because I was too busy, and I do not have time for weeds. I don't. So underneath the gravel, this is a good kind of transitional point. You can see there's gravel over here, but this is the landscape fabric down here, and I think that we've actually got 3 or 4 different trailer fulls of pea gravel from like a local landscape area, and I think I only have 1 or 2 more to go before this area is really done. And next year I plan to do something with more potted plants. I have my green stalk planters, actually, you can kind of see out around right there, that will be utilized more next year for herbs, so that I can actually plant other things and things that I have some herbs wintering over. So you can tell, like, I've just got cantaloupe in here. And guys, look, it's a loofah. It's a loofah. Remember that video a long time ago where I thought it was a loofah and it was actually a snake gourd? And I was really excited, and I tried to dry them out over the winter time, and I'm like, they're just not drying. I don't know what's wrong with them. Well, it wasn't what I thought they were, and it wasn't what it was packaged to be. I believe it was a snake gourd. So, but this is actually loofah. I'm so excited. Let's get under here and see if we can. See, I love yep, you can see right there. I've got a couple that are started right here, though. That is like a bit of a dead area. There's one down in through here. Trying to see if I've got any more kind of sneaking. And the reason that I have problems is they really require a much longer growing season. This might be one of my only really big fellers that's going to come out of this, but I do have a couple over here. So I will probably still have to source some for my goat's milk soap, but at least I finally am able to grow my own. It's exciting. You guys, more flowers, let the sun shine on it, and very ripe over cucumbers over here in this trellis. But this is what we got going on in the garden, guys. It's a little overgrown, but it's still beautiful in all of its wild, untamed glamour that is a gardener's garden that I like to garden, but I have very limited time, and I spread myself way too thin all the time, so then I must suffer the consequences. This is why a lot of people, I think, decide to kind of just gravitate towards like 1 or 2 things, and that's it. But, you know, in the homestead world, we all do all the things, and then we have to pay for it in the end because there's only one of us and so many hours in the day, and then if you throw in a 9 to 5 on top of it, it can be really, really daunting. But if you know how to structure your time, you choose carefully what suffers in your life, like laundry, dusting the house. Those things suffer in my life because I would rather be out here. I would rather have a clean barn. I would rather have a abundant wild garden. I would rather show the goats. I'd rather milk them. I'd rather go see my daughter play on the softball field than spend hours and hours in the garden at night weeding. And I really like my sleep, guys. I'm an 8 hours or don't talk to me type of gal. One of the things that we're working on too, that we've been kind of under wraps, is we're starting to develop those 2 acres that we bought late last year. That's actually where Mark's at right now. I know a lot of the times you can see him kind of like walking in the background because we do work on lots of projects together, but today it's divide and conquer. I'm over here admiring the beautiful melons that I've got growing over here that are kind of just stationed every which way, but he's over there clearing a spot because eventually we'd like to put another barn over there. I don't know what we'll have in the barn, if the barn will be of use really for anything other than a placeholder for right now, but we've talked about doing feeder hogs one time a year to make sure that we have our own pork. We've talked about holding on-farm classes and having like a separate area because that land is parceled out separately, to have a building to be able to do courses and classes for people that are interested to come out and to learn, or just to have another place to put equipment that is now crowding this barn that we don't have room for and it needs to go to another barn, like the hay elevator or the horse trailer or all kinds of things like that, where it's very mobile, so it can share spaces, but it would just be better for it to be out of the way so that we could dedicate the barn to like the goats and hay and tractors and things that we need kind of like right on the property up close to where we do a lot of our work, which is around our barns. Anybody know groundhogs can climb? I didn't know they could climb. This is a groundhog, guys. This is not... It's a big one. It is really a large animal. I don't know if I've seen it blink yet. We're wondering if it's even alive. But maybe. It's really creepy to see it up there. I mean, I guess if we come back tomorrow and it's still here, it's really too far up. Marky was doing the clearing like I was just talking to you guys about, and he said, hey, did you know groundhogs can climb? And apparently they can. I'm trying to see if it'll like follow me with its face or anything, but it's not really trying to. I don't know. Huh.
It's still. Oh, it blinked. It's blinking.
Oh yeah, it did blink. Oh Lord.
It's alive.
So it's alive.
I think all that foliage is in its mouth.
What you got, brother? What you got? Oh, big rabbit, huh? You got a rabbit? Good boy. Good boy.